The glorious energies of the more be yours in amazing ways. Yes, you are one of a kind being of the more. Rev loves being around them, the mystical saints, and reading and studying about them and sharing some of their lives with you. Many of these mystic ones were simple in their lifestyle, and they define the word humility by their inflowing and their outflowing of divine love. This mystical one became a queen who was born into the royal family of Aragon, Spain. But her inner life was totally connected to the higher kingdom of God. She lived in the 13th and 14th centuries, and her name is Saint Elizabeth of Portugal. This amazing lady was surrounded by wealth, but for now, Rev will just call her Lizzy. Being clothed in royal splendor on the outside, but clothed in the divine royalty and deeper ways within. She was named after her great aunt, Saint Elizabeth of Hungary, whose charity deeply inspired her. Her parents were very devout in their faith, and even as a child, Saint Lizzy loved prayer and acts of mercy. She loved helping other people. Yes, she was a palace royalty, but she lived from her knowing that she was a temple, a tabernacle of God within her, by being a running faucet of the divine flow of the more. At only 12 years old, she was married to Dennis of Portugal by a pre-arrangement type of marriage, which means she became Queen of Portugal. Do you know just one thing Lizzy would do? Lizzy, the royal one, secretly walked the streets to feed the poor, to allow the faucet of God's love to pour love upon these precious souls. Yes, her hubby-roo, King Davis the Dude, was very intelligent and very capable, but far from being faithful to his wife, Queen Lizzy. King Dennis had many affairs. The humiliation over and over could have made Lizzy very bitter, angry, mad. Instead, this queen chose patience. She chose the much higher path of the divine ways. She prayed for him. Do you know what else she did? For her unfaithful husband, she prayed and prayed and prayed and prayed. And did I mention she prayed for her unfaithful hubby? Yeah, I thought I did. All the children that came forth from all of Dennis's unfaithful ways, Lizzy would treat these children with love and with kindness. She always saw her royal platform for service rather than privilege. Lizzy filled the palace with divine love, with the divine ways, even with King Dennis being the opposite. Lizzy is one of my sheroes by being that faucet of divine love and compassion all the time. St. Lizzy visited the sick and did so much for the orphans and the widows. She was a walking, breathing blessing by moving in the divine flow. She was the motivation behind new churches and other needed structures that needed to be built. These acts of her flow of divine love would change her unfaithful hubby, Dennis, the King Dude, little by little. One day, the king became very suspicious of his wife, Lizzy. He heard rumors that the queen was secretly giving away royal supplies to the poor. He confronted her and demanded to see what she carried in her cloak. Lizzy answered calmly, "Roses." But beautiful ones, it was winter. Roses could not exist. When she opened her cloak, guess what fell to the ground? Roses. What had been bread for the poor had miraculously turned into flowers. Here's another Lizzy happening. One of the pages of King Dennis did not like the divine flow of Lizzy, so he made up a lie about her. And the page said it was another page over there who created this lying insight, who was jealous of and was totally innocent, the second page. The king ordered the one he thought to be guilty, who was really innocent, to be sent to the furnace. King, the unfaithful one, told the lime burner to put the first page that came to him into the fire. Well, the innocent page had gone to daily mass, and he stayed for the second mass. So it was the evil page who showed up first to the lime burner, and he was no more. When the king learned what had happened, he realized the good page, the innocent one, was saved and the lying page was no more, and proved Queen Elizabeth, Lizzy, to be innocent of this lie. This also created more of a positive change in the king's lower ways. Queen Lizzy was also known as a peacemaker. She intervened repeatedly to stop wars between kingdoms. At one point, conflict erupted between her husband and their own son, Alfonso. They were lined up on the battlefield. Lizzy rose between their armies and convinced them to make peace, which they did. Later, even after becoming a widow, she continued mediating disputes between rulers. Where others brought swords, she brought divine peace. After the death of King Dennis, Elizabeth renounced her royal luxury. She joined the Third Order of St. Francis and lived a life of prayer and penance and charity. She continued helping the poor until the end of her life. She crossed over in 1336 while traveling on a mission of peace. And there is so much more. Thank you for being here. Beautiful, glorious blessings embrace you. Until next time, take care. And Rev will be thinking about you.